Mark, you a Dodgers fan?
No.
Okay.
1970s Mets fan.
Oh, all right. I know you're an LA guy.
Never change.
Well, big Dodgers news, kind of. So the former Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer, he has broken his silence.
Yes.
So just a reminder, so he had allegations of sexual assault against this woman, Lindsay Hill from Pasadena. And so he was suspended during the investigation for 324 games. The ban was eventually reduced to 194 games.
Yes.
The Dodgers released him. He's now pitching in Japan. So that's kind of his story.
Yeah.
So he released this video now talking about the ordeal, saying and sharing some like text messages. So for instance, he's basically saying he's basically putting it all out there. Like he said that we've both settled. We've agreed that I don't have to sign an NDA or stay silent about this. So I'm going to tell you what happened. And he shared some texts between the woman and her friend.
Yeah, so this guy was canceled by Major League Baseball and got the longest suspension ever, I think 2 years, and then they trimmed it down to, I don't know, 190 games or something like that. He's Cy Young winner, career destroyed, and the woman had like pictures of herself with black eyes and stuff like that. But he's going to mention it in here, but I hope he sues the shit out of Major League Baseball. I want all these entities sued I want the city of Burbank sued for closing down Tin Horn Flats. I want MLB sued for firing a guy or casting a guy to Japan with no due process.
No convictions,
I want
nothing.
fucking YouTube sued for firing anybody. We can't have a system where there's an allegation and then the person gets fired.
Everybody's hip firing right now. Yeah.
Right. We have to figure out whether the person did it or not, and then we can fire them.
So finally, and so he couldn't talk while the investigation and the court proceedings and all that was happening. But now he released this video and he shared some texts like, "Oh, here's some texts between Lindsay and her friend," and I'll read them to you. So
she comes across as the worst human being on the planet.
She absolutely does.
Oh my God.
So first she texts her friend before even meeting Trevor, "Hey, next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers." And then another one before she's going to his house for the first time, she texts her friend, "What should I steal?" And her friend says, "Take the money. Take his money." And then she goes, "So how might that work? I'm going to his house Wednesday. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll." And then after she meets him, she texts her friend, "Net worth $51 million. And her friend responds, "Bitch, you better secure the bag."
Now, does he go over these in this video?
Well, I cut the video because it's 4 minutes long, so I'm just giving you guys a text, and then I'll play you a part of the video here. So another text was, "I need Daddy to choke me out, being an absolute whore to try to get in on his $51 million. And then she's friends with another pitcher from the Padres, and even the Padres pitcher's like, "Hey, you got to get his bag." Right? So that's kind of been and her AA sponsor even asked her at one point, "Do you feel a tiny bit guilty?" And she responded, "Not really." So there's all those texts, and now they go to court, and he eventually finds out that she was withholding evidence from him and his legal team.
Yes.
And I'll play you some of that.
During discovery.
August of 2021, Lindsay Hill's claims were heard in court. And during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsay Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face.
Yeah. So Bauer, he eventually sues the woman. She countersues. It's all defamation stuff. Their settlement called for no exchange of money between the parties, but she will receive a separate $300,000 from her insurance company.
She's the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
How can you...
Terrible.
First things first. If you accuse somebody of a crime that they could get 10 years in prison for, and it turns out to be a hoax, then you should fucking get 10 years in prison. That would put an end to this real fast. If you accuse them of something, if you made it up out of whole cloth, and you're getting this person put away, potentially, for a decade, then you should be put away. That would slow people's roll a lot. But then, I don't get it. Did she punch herself in the face, or actually, because there's pictures of her with like black eyes, and she got someone to like traumatize her?
So, and what's interesting, so obviously, Trevor also reveals in the video he never settled. Obviously, he never. He said he just wanted to clear his name. He paid way more to his lawyers than he could even ever get back from her, and all the lawsuits. But yeah, it's true. Like, he has stood strong. Like, and even just I remember seeing him get attacked on social for all this, and like he did seem like an a-hole on social media because of just the way he was acting. And now all this finally comes out, and everyone's just going, "Oh, my bad."
Yeah, well, you set the movement back when you do this. You totally every race hoax set the Jussie Smolletts of the world. They set the movement back, and these bitches set the movement back too for actual victims.
Right. Yeah, what's going to happen the next time a woman has a real accusation? We're going to come back to this.
But also, why is there no prison time for her? I mean, this is extortion, essentially. Right. She was trying to get millions of dollars from this guy. And by the way, you have to believe all women. Oh, we do? Because this is where it's heading. I mean, that's what motivates these shrews. Us as a society going, gotta believe all women.
It's gross.
False allegations, obviously wrong. Cancellation based on just allegations, obviously wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The idea that we all judge based on what we see in TikTok clips and things doesn't seem the court of public opinion.
But so many people do.
Which you are a Supreme Court judge of public opinion.
Thank you.
Now, I will say this. Other women have come out and accused Trevor Bauer of sexual assault and things like that. Like, well, just like really like rough sex, choking, all that stuff. But, you know, he always just said it was consensual.
Yeah. I don't know where those... Do we have pictures of her looking sad with the black eyes?
Oh, that was supposedly that day or the next day or something?
There's some filters on that.
Maybe she just filtered
That's
it
crayon.
up.
Yeah, like...
There's a picture of a woman who looks battered, but this woman
is that? Do we know that that's supposed to be that day, or is that totally a separate thing?
No, that's a claim that
Trevor that it happened that day, and yet we saw the picture.
And then
of
he
her
showed
smiling.
the video of her smirking at the camera.
Oh,
here's the other thing too.
Is that just cheap makeup? Or?
We need to shun more. We've gotten away from judging and shunning. Years and years ago, people were like, you can't judge. I'm like, oh, you better judge. You better judge. Otherwise, we're going to end up with a shit show for society. She should be a pariah. She should be judged and shunned.
Oh, and so everyone's also going after Molly Knight, a reporter for The Athletic, who sided so much with this woman and basically started a campaign to get Trevor Bauer canceled.
Shunned too.
She has also deleted all of her tweets recently about Trevor Bauer and hasn't been responding to any comment. But yeah, so she's also...
That's one good thing about my world is that I was canceled in the early 90s, and you can't be canceled twice. Did you know that? It's like a murder charge.
Yes.
Yeah. You only get one cancelled.
Double jeopardy on Skippy's canceling.
So I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone... these people should be ashamed. They never are for some reason. And then he should just lawyer up and sue the shit out of everybody. I hate the litigious world we've turned into, but sue Major League Baseball. If we don't, unfortunately, like meaning you have something like Kyle Rittenhouse, he's a 16-year-old guy, whatever. Then the bitches from The View are like, this guy's a white supremacist who went there to go kill black people or something. Sue him. Yeah. You have to sue them because that's the only way they'll shut up. They won't shut up. And you talk about like fake news. That's fake news. Right. And you're ruining people's lives along the way. Insane. This guy had to go to Japan. This guy's a Cy Young Award-winning pitcher, had a $100 million plus contract, and has to move to Japan so he can continue his career because one nutty chick made an insane allegation.
Do you think he sues the Dodgers?
I hope he sues the Dodgers and Major League Baseball and Bowie Kuhn.
I mean, he did
who used to be the commissioner of baseball in the 70s. His name was Bowie.
That's a good name.
There's a guy named Bowie. Bowie Kuhn.
He'd hang out with a guy named Skippy.
Skippy, you know Bowie?
Bowie and Skippy.
Yeah.
Bowie and Skippy? Would you take him on the road with you?
Sure.
Would you let him middle?
Yeah.
You'd let him feature? Bowie Kuhn ran Major League Baseball for 13 years.
Yeah. He's not involved in this story, though.
He's probably going.
Yeah, leave Bowie alone.
Find Bowie. Remember his name, Bowie?
What's his last name? Hume or Cume?
Cume, Bowie. Cume.
That's him.
Bowie?
Yeah, but he pronounced it Bowie.
Yeah, Bowie Kuhn.
Yeah. What? How many years did he? Let's see.
69 to 84.
He had a good run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get Bowie.
What would Bowie do?
He wouldn't put up with this nonsense.
Well, Trevor did end the video going, look, I'm glad I can finally talk about this, but I'd like to put this behind me and just start winning baseball games. Mm-hmm. So.
In Japan, or is it going to be a Dodger?
I don't think he's going to be a Dodger. I don't think the Dodgers are going through some PR stuff right now because there's also another pitcher, Urias, that is being accused of domestic violence.
So, maybe the Mets will grab him.
They don't want to. Yeah, Mets,
maybe it's like
Mets have no morals, right?
A new kind of money ball where they'll just grab all the people that are accused and put together a super team.
They could still play.
Get Brad Pitt on the phone.
Yeah, but I think Trevor Barrett's. I could see him coming back to the MLB.
All right.
All right. So there's this other story out of Detroit, Adam, that there's a shooting back in 2021. And the teenage shooter killed 4 students, wounded 6 other people. But what's interesting about this is the parents, for the first time ever, are being tried for manslaughter.
Good.
Yeah. So it's so the court. So they're trying to appeal, and the court today just ruled that it's not going to hear the appeal. Okay, so this is the first time that this has happened where the parents are being charged. Prosecutors argued that the parents can be charged because they showed gross negligence for failing to secure the weapon. The family's called the Crumbleys. So the Crumbleys have been accused of knowing their son was a troubled teen. Mm-hmm. He was too young to own a gun, but they bought him one anyway, 9mm.
They bought him a 9mm.
Yep.
What age?
So he was 15 when it happened.
Isn't that a bad sitcom, The Crumbleys?
Now. Yeah,
the Crumbleys.
Really sounds like
the worst
it.
One.
Yeah.
So Ethan, the kid, has pled guilty. He could be charged life without parole. He's 17 now. And the court finds that the defendant's parents frequently left him alone at an early age. His parents frequently used alcohol and argued in front of the defendant.
That's everybody that grew up in the 70s? Okay.
That's right.
They also failed to take his mental health seriously, and his father bought him the gun that he used in the school shooting. So,
again, look, theme of today, deterrence. Yelling at Toyota is not a deterrent for people stealing catalytic converters and telling chicks who try to destroy your life and extract money and accuse you of rape. Well, I guess we just broken even. Let's let bygones be bygones. It's not a deterrent. You know what I mean? Locking the bitch up for 10 years is a deterrent for the future stuff. And telling parents with the troubled goth teen who buy him the 9mm, he goes and shoots somebody, you're going to jail too. These are deterrents. That's why we need. Right. We don't need incentives. We need deterrents. Right.
Yes.
So I'm all for it.
You're for this.
Yes.
All right.
Unless one of my kids fucking shoots a lug nut off and goes on a killing spree, in which case I disavow them right here and now.
Also, there's a story on Saturday. There's a young 9-year-old girl who went missing while riding her bike. Did you hear about this?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was all over the news.
Oh yeah, it totally was. So there's a suspect is now in custody. They found her. So what happened was the parents received a ransom note at their home, and the note had fingerprints on it, and they used the fingerprints to trace it back to the guy.
Well, to be fair. Or something to him. I saw a picture of the guy.
Yeah,
I mean, he looks off.
So he
looks severely.
Isn't that the guy that sings with the banjo?
Yeah,
he definitely plays the banjo.
He does the Richmond, north of Richmond song. Yeah.
His name's Craig Nelson Ross Jr.
Oh, from Coach.
I know, poor Craig T. Nelson, and also, Craig Nelson Ross Sr. for his name being. Oh,
it's why you got to think very carefully about the juniors.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because look. He could be a bonus baby in the NBA or more likely pedophile who abducts a 9-year-old. Yeah. You know what I mean? And now your name's on that shit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like his hairline, the mustache, and the beard. It's the complete package. He looks the same upside down as he does right now. Can we flip him over there?
He looks impaired.
Yeah. Well, he sent a ransom note with his fingerprints on it. They used the fingerprints. They also used some cell phone pings, and they found the girl in his trailer hidden in the cabinet.
Wow.
Hidden in the cabinet.
Yeah, she was in the cabinet.
Well, thank God they got her back. That's amazing. Through fingerprint. You don't think they even use fingerprints anymore? That seems ancient now.
I know.
I think he got a DUI like in '99 or something, and there's printed. I know I sound like I have two heads on all of this stuff. One is with COVID, I now essentially don't trust the government to be in charge because I don't trust those fuckers at all after what they tried to do.
I'm with
COVID.
You, by the way. I don't trust them anymore.
FBI, CIA, WHO, whatever.
Any one of those.
The Barbara Ferrer, the health coordinator for Los Angeles. I don't fucking trust Gavin Newsom. I don't trust any of those people anymore. But I am a big fan of everyone just having DNA and having a database and fucking solving all this shit.
What is the argument against that again? Just privacy issues, or is it?
Well, what it is, I was always the guy who said, look, if you've done nothing wrong, then have the DNA on file, and then that'll be good for the non-murderers like me. So if I'm ever accused of murder, I can go check the database. That wasn't me.
Semen.
That's not my semen. At least it doesn't taste like it. But so have my data on file. That's where I was always like, if you're innocent, then you have nothing to fear. And why does the government want to run around and incarcerate innocent people, and what's in it for them? And I've been kind of a broken record about it. I remember once there was a big story where somebody said we should take everybody who's on death row and get a DNA sample from them. And then we'll file that, and then we will be able to solve a bunch of cold case murders because there's a good chance those guys were involved with other murders. That's how it works. You know, you're either kind of in or out in the murder department, right? And so there's a bunch of cold cases of murders, and then you might be able to get them off the books if you had all the DNA of everyone who was on death row. But of course, the ACLU got involved and had a big problem with it. This is when I learned to hate.
What is the problem?
They're the ACLU. They have a problem with everything. They don't have a problem, by the way, with vax mandates and travel cards and stuff like that. That's not what the ACLU. ACLU has no problem if you're a fireman and you don't want to get vaccinated because you already had COVID and you have natural immunity, and they're going to shit can you from the San Bernardino Fire Department. ACLU is not interested in that. They're not interested in your job. They're not interested in Tin Horn Flats being shut down by Burbank. Not that. But they are interested. They've turned into a weird lefty fringe organization.
Does anybody listen to the ACLU?
No,
it seems like they're the Karens of organizations.
Them and PETA have gone the same route. You become such hysterical shrews that no one listens to you anymore. CNN's gone down that road. Like, why are you damaging your brand so much by fucking being Karens? But anyway, I used to think that way. Mm-hmm. And then COVID came around, and I saw what like Trudeau was trying to do in Canada, and now we want to have vax mandates and
it really opened a lot of our eyes.
And vaccine passports, and if you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't be allowed to return to your job, and you shouldn't be allowed to travel. And I was like, maybe I don't want the government having. This is the same thing. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. They want to go with this whole like universal cash, e-cash, no more cash, no more check. The government will stay in charge.
Keep it digital, yeah.
Right. Well, then
right on your hand.
COVID breaks, the COVID goes down, and then some guys start saying, you know what? I'm against them shutting schools. I'm against them shutting beaches. And I don't want my kids vaccinated. Oh, maybe we should cut that guy's cash off.
Oh, that's happening. That's happening already.
That's what they're trying to do. Whatever's going on in Canada is coming here. That's what I'm saying. So now, not a fan of the government with all the information. Sad. I used to be. Not anymore.
The mRNA vaccine is now in our meat supply. They're giving it to the cows.
Oh, really? Oh,
cattle
perfect.
Shrimp.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, they just won the Nobel Prize.
They want us to get that vaccine one way or the other.
That's right.
They're determined.
All right. What else we got?
All right. So there's these stories. I have two OnlyFans stories. One, and I just want to get your thoughts on this because I think it's just interesting. So one of them is a teacher, a high school teacher. Now imagine, Adam, and Mark too while you were in high school.
Two OnlyFans stories. I only have 2 fans.
Oh, see, this is going to line up perfectly. So imagine being in high school. You have a 28-year-old teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Find out she has an OnlyFans account. You're going to check it out, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got
to check out Mrs. Sontag's.
Is it true or is it just the rumor? Because we used to rumor one of our teachers was a Playboy centerfold, and I'm not sure she really was, but that was the word on campus.
Well, this is true. So her
What
name's
campus
Brianna.
did you go to?
You can't call it a campus, really. It was junior high, but...
What junior high did you go to?
Emerson. It's not there anymore. Next to the Mormon Temple in Westwood.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And coming from a little school in suburban New Jersey, it was something else, too. It felt like a campus.
Oh, sure.
It was so big, and there's so many people.
So
this teacher, so she has an OnlyFans account, and she started doing it because she was making $42,000 a year. She after starting the account, she brought in an extra $8,000 to $10,000 every month. Right? All right. So she's doing it, and she knew she's going to get caught. She's just like, look, it's eventually going to happen. I'm just going to keep doing it and see until I get caught. Well, she got caught. What happened was her and her husband made a video with like another couple in St. Louis, and that made the rounds. And eventually, the superintendent got wind of it, probably from a few complaints. And
he was just,
yeah, who knows? Who knows what the source
checking
is.
out the web late at night.
But she has since been let go.
Mrs. Jensen.
Yeah, they said that this is inappropriate. There she is. Mrs. Coppage, English teacher. So she did it because it was over the summer to help her support her household.
Yeah.
Is this okay with you? Are teachers okay to have OnlyFans account?
It's interesting because there's like a whole bunch of different arguments. One is it's their business and that's their side hustle, and so be it. On the other hand, I get the argument with certain positions, like you're in the military or you fly for American Airlines or something, or you're a senator or something. Like I get the part that there's a difference between certain jobs and like forklift driver.
What you do in your
and I get the sort of rules of conduct or the conditions or something, like when you sign a contract to play for the NFL or play professional sports or something, they go, we have a code of conduct. Like we don't want to see you out with your Instagram doing dick pics or whatever. Like, I kind of understand the understanding part where you go, okay, this is part of this job. So I kind of get that part.
So you're okay with the school letting her go?
I am. On the other hand, I like the sort of autonomy part where she's free to do her own thing on the weekends and holidays as well. But I would say if it kind of becomes a distraction and now you can't, it interferes with your job because you have kids with boners sitting in classes.
Teach kids if they know. Yeah, exactly.
I would definitely, this is junior high?
High school.
Oh, high school. Yeah, I would definitely have a boner in her class. I don't. Yeah. By the way, she taught English. Everything would be a double entendre. You know what I mean? There's no way she'd go, we're having the pancake fundraiser on Saturday. I hope you can all come. Oh, you mean like that load that landed on your hair I saw on my phone on the walk in?
Got her.
Everything would be a double entendre.
Yeah.
What if she has a tutoring session set up and an OnlyFans and she's going back and forth and it gets confused? That would be a scene in a movie, maybe.
80s, yeah.
Yeah.
80s.
I get the school. I don't want to be a prude, but I give the schools to her.
Yeah. Well, once the story broke, she's like in the top 1% of OnlyFans earners now.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So she doesn't want to go hang out with those little shits. Yeah.
So she'll be okay. But in Minneapolis, there's a police officer who's being investigated right now. So what happened was she pulls over a citizen. She walks up to the car. She's an OnlyFans account. And the guy in the car is like,
recognizes her?
Hey, I know you. Oh, my God. And,
wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that because that indicts me, I guess, too, if I'm the motorist. But anyway, so he recognizes her.
Right. So here's the difference, though. So the mayor of Minneapolis, did I say that? I don't even know. He said, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, he's probably progressive because that town's turned into a shit show, and he's not going to.
It's behind a paywall. There's no issue. Although the chief of police is still investigating if there are any policy violations. For instance, this happened in Michigan last year, and What happened was this police officer, while she didn't wear her uniform in her OnlyFans pictures, she did wear it on her Instagram account, which promoted her OnlyFans account. So she was able to link work to OnlyFans, and she got fired for that instantly. But this is
a new world order. We're going to have to get used to it.
Yeah.
And we're going to figure out where the line is. I think the school teacher thing's maybe the line, the cops, who cares? But, also kind of, it's going to happen more and more. It's just, everyone's going to have their side hustle. Anyone who's not fat is going to just have their OnlyFans account. Like we're living in a time where when I was growing up, we had like Farrah Fawcett and Cheryl Teagues, you know what I mean? We didn't have a lot of also runs, like a lot of six.
Best of the best.
A lot of sixes and sevens need not apply.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's only
all the
so
girls
much
that Michael J. Fox rejected.
That's right. There's no, right.
She's got
now,
the top percentage of.
And we seem to have some sort of unyielding and limitless desire for porn, even though, to me, porn is like pizza toppings. If you say to me, like, I got a new pizza topping, I go, I don't need it. We got pepperoni, we got sausage, we got onion. You can have, if you like pineapple, knock yourself out.
I'm satisfied.
There's mushrooms. We're done. There's 23 offerings. I don't need a 24th. And I feel the same way.
All the new drugs. I'm that way with all the, I don't want to try a new drug.
Yeah, this is a synthetic form of horse tranquilizer. It's like, are we out of cocaine? Are we out of cocaine? Are we out of beer? Are we out of pot?
I feel like the opposite of Huey Lewis. I don't want a new drug.
I don't want a new drug. Then we're done. And I feel this way about seeing naked chicks do shit to themselves and with dudes. I'm like, we have enough. We're set.
When I hear how much they make, I'm like encouraging my girlfriend, hey, you should try an OnlyFans.
Well, speaking of, so we had Greg Fitzsimmons in here yesterday. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about the time before that he came on, and we had Maitland Ward co-hosting. Porn star, and Greg was talking about how he went and looked her up right after the show. He was smitten by her, and and it was like he
took care of business.
He said it was like 3D.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about dating in LA. You could actually look up the girl naked before the date.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I announced I'm too old to do this.
You didn't do it.
I haven't done it.
Well, we did a staff poll to see who did.
Yeah, so when you have a porn star come in here and hang out, it's curious who goes and does their homework when they get home.
It's very appropriate, a staff poll.
Where are we at? She, by the way, was insulted that I didn't rub one out to her. So
right. She gave you like DVDs. She was encouraging it.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think it would be?
I would hope that we're at a 75-25. 75 looked it up, 25 didn't.
Okay, this is the staff poll.
This is the staff poll. Spell it any way you want.
See, this is why she couldn't go back inside the classroom. Because if she said staff and poll and we're having the pancake, who's coming, everyone's like, everyone's just laughing the whole time, right?
Right. So it's everybody said yes except for Emmy.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoopsh.
Yeah. I just said Emmy's a liar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even the other girls that work here?
Yeah, he just had a kid. He couldn't. Yeah. He can't.
I checked it out before she came on.
Yeah. Well, that's just good producing.
Yeah, it's
just good producing.
Research.